What is the difference between standard neurofeedback and what we offer at the Noticing Mind? The differences are night and day, okay? Heaven and earth, if you will. Linear neurofeedback is a dinosaur. It was developed with the idea that the brain could be interpreted anatomically using an EEG, which is 100% false. If you want to understand the anatomy of the human brain, you have to use an MRI. That's it. You can't do it any other way. All right, end of that. It also had this idea that there's a standard brain. According to who? That's not true either. It also had this idea that certain frequencies mean certain things. That's true, but you have to contextualize it, which they don't do in standard neurofeedback. They say, oh, these frequencies mean this. They mean this person's anxious. Let's dampen those frequencies, and then let's strengthen these other ones that are associated with calm. But you have to understand, anxiety has a purpose. You may not like to hear that. Being anxious chronically, that's bad. But feeling anxiety when you're about to go up to somebody to ask them out, single male, that's normal. When you're feeling anxiety and you're in a room that nothing's going on and you're just with your friends and family, that's bad. You shouldn't feel anxious there. Context is key. So how do you fix all that? That's just so you know, this is really complex stuff. When you go to this stuff right here, this linear neurofeedback, this is just statistics and looking at averages. Easy math. Let's talk about chaos theory. Let's talk about dynamical self-organizing systems. And you're like, what the hell is he talking about? I'm talking about the most advanced algorithms developed by our species. I'm talking about what you're using in a Predator or a Raptor, which is an F-22, to auto-target. Okay, our drones are up there chilling in the air, and they have such advanced mathematical algorithms running in them that they can auto-target and pick crap up and track it better than anything else on Earth. And then, of course, destroy it. When you're talking about our most advanced sonar systems utilized by the Navy, they're using the same types of algorithms of these things called chaos theory, self-organizing complex systems. When you're talking about the B-2 bomber, a wing, a bat wing that can fly, you may think, well, that's easy. No. There have been so many failed attempts to develop anything close to the B-2 because the sophisticated algorithms that keep that thing in the air and the thermodynamics behind it are so complex and so chaotic that you can't sit there and use linear interpretations. You have to use ideas of chaotic environments coming about and coalescing into self-organizing systems. Now, if you don't understand any of this, that's fine. The key to understand here is that the brain is the most complex dynamical system in the entire world. There is nothing that even comes remotely close to its complexity. Nothing. So if you want to understand what it does and how it works, you have to take a fundamentally different approach than what you think you understand. You can't just say, well, how do I measure progress? Well, how do I measure frequency, amplitude? How do I measure that I'm getting better? Because that's how people try to think about things. How do you measure if somebody's getting better by using neurofeedback? You ask them. It's a subjective experience, and that's life. If you feel less anxious, problem solved. But the reality is far more nuanced, obviously. So how does it work? Dynamical neurofeedback listens to the brain's dynamic changes. And it does this in real time. It's looking at everything from what we call the duration of a frequency, its intensity, and the moment it's happening. And then what it will do when it detects what we call cognitive turbulence, meaning the brain is about to change brain states, it will send a signal to your brain, the hub of your central nervous system. And then your central nervous system will reorient. How is this even happening? Well, what we do is we hook you up to music and we put sensors on your head. You listen to music, and every time it detects cognitive turbulence, the system stops for a microsecond. And your central nervous system orients to that sound automatically because sound is the predominant way our species survives because it can detect in three-dimensional space what's going on, and it also processes more fast than visual senses, just so you know, by an intense factor, about 60%, No, it takes about 30% longer to process visual sound or visual sight than it does to process sound, but that's neither here nor there. When you're looking at this data and you are listening to cognitive turbulence, okay, it's helping your brain reorient to the present moment. Let's say, for instance, you're experiencing neurofeedback and you start to get anxious and you're about to get anxious. It'll send a signal to your brain and tell you, you're getting anxious, bro. Is that really appropriate right now? And then your central nervous system is finally, for the first time ever, getting the signal at the appropriate time. Instead of somebody telling you, hey, dude, you should calm down, before you even get to that state, you're getting feedback that is causing your brain to reorient on the unconscious level. And it then evaluates. It's like, am I safe? Oh, there's no bear that's about to eat me. Maybe I'm safe. And it reevaluates what it's going to do. Then it changes. It's that simple. But don't let that fool you. Things that appear simple are often extremely complex. Take consciousness, for instance. Consciousness is an emergent property that nobody understands. Nobody. Okay, anybody that tells you they understand it, they're wrong. We have not gotten even close to understanding it. I have read a good 30 books on consciousness theory from a lot of different scientists. They don't have a clue. They just are guessing. We don't have the tools. We don't know. But when you take a new approach like dynamical system theory to understand electrical frequencies in the brain and how they are dynamically interrelated to duration, frequency, their timing, and intensity, you can make a difference. So there you go. There's some basic information. Bit overwhelming, isn't it?